I will now give the floor to Sebastian Kister, who is a product team lead at Audi AG, and as well as the CTO of Summit of the Cloud Native Computer Foundation. I hope I said it correctly. He has a strong focus on culture and tech, successfully combining startup and enterprise experience. He is dramatically results-driven, creating best-of-breed solutions to enable organization and innovate holistically between people, processes, and tools. I'm really looking forward to hear next this one, so the floor is yours.
Well, thanks for joining, thanks for having me, thanks for the warm welcome in Serbia. It's my first time in this part of Europe actually, ever, and I'm really excited to be here and see the tech scene of Serbia and neighboring countries. This is really exciting for me as well, in vice versa, I hope. So my name is Sebastian Kister. I've been a musician actually, a teacher, an author, and most of all a team lead of startups. I created the teams in startups with products, leading entire product portfolios and IT infrastructure. Also, before Audi, we led a startup from first customer to 1.25 million customers in IP television in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. So currently I lead the Kubernetes Competence Center, and I'm also in the CTO Summit of the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, and I have a role in the technical oversight committee of Kubernetes itself, as well as being in a special interest group with Boeing, with Ricardo Torres of Boeing, and we have great stuff to do there in the open source community actually. To be able to do that, I've also introduced in 2019 a process to open source Audi intellectual property. So Audi employees are able to connotate, to comment, and to contribute to open source projects, as well as to open source entire Audi AG projects. I count as a transformation evangelist in the CNCF, but what I'm doing at Audi is I role model for entire industries. And I'm really spanning this way over transportation, cars, and anything in any industry. We allocate infrastructure, we allocate computing power, and it doesn't matter what's the result. If it's a sneaker, it's a car, it's a digital service, it doesn't matter. We have to inflict cultural change. And I tell you the Audi mission now. So, I mean, for decades, Audi built breathtaking premium vehicles, and our goal was to transfer this customer excitement and satisfaction to our digital service portfolio. And we cannot do that with 3 to 5 year product cycles, which is a classical car engineering product cycle, 3 to 5 years, right? And customer expectations are so fast changing now. So we have to react accordingly. And the entire automotive industry or transportation industry is part of a radical change through e-mobility, autonomous driving, sustainability, climate change. There are significant game changers for us. And the process of redefining ourselves to play an instrumental role in shaping the future of premium mobility is something that needs a transformation first. And our mission is to unleash the beauty of sustainable mobility. In the context of today, this means that we want to be consistently customer with our digital service portfolio. And the capability to adapt quickly to these fast-changing customer expectations is the key and the core competence that we need as a company, as people even, and also as engineers. And our cloud journey has not been fun at all, to be honest. It started very late in the first place. And when I joined in 2019, after 10 years of startups, I was like completely shocked when I entered the Audi halls, and I was like, yeah, okay, great company. And the first sentence I was facing there was a complete transformation. I came from startups, I was recruited to get startup culture into the huge enterprise. And the first sentence I heard was, this agile thing is the same and it's just a little faster. And I was like, okay, I can leave anytime, I guess. I didn't. 4 years later, you see, we went through a dramatic change in the cloud journey. We had a wild growth of platforms. We tried out everything. And I've created the Kubernetes Competence Center in the last couple of years to really tackle VW group-wide. So we're talking Seat, Skoda, Scania, MAN, Bugatti, Lamborghini, Audi, and this other brand, VW, right. So all these strategies, we have been combining them for a couple of years already, but it's not that easy. And I will focus more on the keynotes next year in this. But the importance, what I want to tell you of our strategies in the platform portfolio as well, and now we have a platform portfolio, is, well, guys, how many security attacks, how many hacking attacks do we have per year? Wild guess from you. 10 million. Okay, that's wild. From here, someone? 50 million. Come on, guys. It's not that bad. It's 60,000. It's 60,000. 60,000 attacks on Audi infrastructure. And obviously, if it's above 100, you already have to automate everything. Because you can't counter 15. And above, you have to automate everything. So the importance of security is not really only processual friction, because it just disturbs your flow. It's not only data protection, and it's not just attacks on the infrastructure causing cost because Bitcoin miners are using your AWS infrastructure. It's most of all innovation readiness, because security is not a cost. It's a driver of innovation. You need to be secure first to really innovate. You need to have a secure infrastructure to innovate without friction. So data, I mean, we have petabytes of data every day. If somebody would steal our data, we would happily buy it back processualized with a couple of requests. It's fine. But I want to tell you something about how this has been tried in the past, this transformation. Usually process first. So you have a huge organization. You have 96,000 employees. VW Group, 440,000 employees. With indirect employees, we have 660,000 employees. Meaning, we're not moving that fast. But the structures are mostly hierarchical and top-down. So when you transform, you give everybody like a new mission. You say everything is agile now. The service responsible, new name. Guess what? Product owner, but nothing changed. So you give shit new name, nothing happens. You do that 3 times, you still wonder why nothing happens. But luckily, it's a different manager, so he doesn't notice. No, this doesn't work. This hasn't been working, and I've been talking with all the other guys in the CTO summit of the CNCF, talking to Mercedes, to Boeing, to Spotify, to TikTok, to Santander, to eBury. All big enterprises face the same issues. Process first just doesn't work. And if you want to invite Deloitte, KPMG, Ernst & Young, the best consultants, well, let's say the most expensive ones, they will always go process first. Gartner, process first. It doesn't work. If you put the developer, the lifecycle management operations, and that's how it looks like. So you have different responsibilities here, right? Developer, development teams, they build code, they build apps. In the best case, they have a container ready. In the middle, that's usually the internal guy. The one guy that works in your enterprise has mostly no idea whatsoever what the left side is doing and no idea what the right side is doing. He just is, I call him the money shoveler. He shovels money from left to right or from right to left. And then money's gone. Sometimes there's new software and sometimes there's unoperable something. And this doesn't work without this specification handover process. The specification handover process causes friction. So much friction, because this guy in the middle, he has no idea what he's doing anyway. He's the money shoveler, he's the process guy, he's orchestrating processes, he's orchestrating enterprise, self-sustainable processes. And it's structured in silos. And you have all these DevOps fight the silo dogma. So it's completely wrong. You have 660,000 employees. We can only structure in silos. We can only work with silos. And silos have an advantage. They're the best way to scale huge organizations. And the only way. So we need the silo. The new mission is respect the silo. This is very surprising for many people that listen to my talks, because they're very realistic, actually. We can, why are we doing DevSecOps? Why are we doing DevOps? Why DevOps is cool? Why DevOps is a thing? You have business goals behind it. Deliver faster, for example. Know capabilities from the other end, know the full stack. Better time to market. So there are business goals behind it. Why not reaching these business goals with this? So we have people, we have processes, and of course we have tools. So we have platform tools. We have, I give you an example of a shift left with Aqua Security, container image scanning, container runtime scanning, for example with Trivi. The developer on his local machine can already scan his build if it will check out with the policies that we enforce in the infrastructure, before he even annoys the guy in the middle or the guy in the end. So what we're doing here is we teach them how to do this stuff. We are one part of a non-existing end-to-end responsibility. So there is no end-to-end responsibility. This gray thing is secured by contracts. Obviously, there are contracts for it. But we have an enablement culture beyond terms and conditions, a culture beyond SLAs. We go to the other end with a professional services team. We enable development teams to use the tools that we have on the platform, to use, for example, the shift left toolchain, as I explained to you, with pre-scanning container images in how far we enforce policies on the infrastructure. So they already know here if this will check out over there. No specification, no handover. And if you have that, you can automate that stuff. So what happened now is that we took passionate people first. We let them explore the best tech, bleeding edge technology, the best tools. And then we automated that shit. Process is what naturally follows. People, tech, process, not the other way around. What happened in the 20 years before in transformations is that you decide upon a process, then you decide upon tools, and then you tell the people, hey, this is the tool that you need to use, this is the process that you need to follow. What happens? Everybody in their freaking comfort zone says, okay, I got a new name, I got a new tool, and I do the same shit all over again, just with a new name and a new tool. And maybe I have a new address in my enterprise. And if I'm lucky, I change my office to something more fancy, but that's it. People first. And when you put passionate people in the center of everything that you're doing, and again, 100,000 employees, this is just as freaking big as a city, and it has as many jobs as a city. You will find somebody who's passionate about anything. And this is also a life advice about, I give that to everyone, even the very young students in my team or interns. Passion is nothing, what are you passionate about? It's nothing that just you wake up one day, you say, oh, this is my destiny, I will do that. No, it's something you're good at. You can be good at anything or nothing. If you're not good at it, but you like it, you will not be passionate about it, not for long. If you deep dive into anything, if you're really good at it, you get the reward, you get the valuation, you get the appreciation, you will be passionate about it. About anything that you deep dive into, about anything that you're freaking good at it, just make sure you're the best at it. You will be passionate about it. You can share that passion. And we force our development teams into success. We show them how to be successful with a better time to market. And these friction walls that I've shown you before, they cost sometimes 6 months of time to market. Now we can deploy like from pre-live to prod, 2 hours. I mean, this is not a joke. It's 6 months versus 2 hours. This is serious. They're happy. They have so much success now. They're really happy. They can automate that stuff. It's not like never change a running system. And that was the culture the last 20 years. And the product cycles were 3 to 5 years, like literally. This has changed. Deploy every day, 10 times, whatever. And they're happy users now. How do we scale organizations now? How do we scale the support? Everybody says, no, yeah, come on, you can't scale it. You have 6,600 projects. You can't enable 6,600 project teams. Yeah, I don't have to. They do that themselves. Somebody had a firewall clearance to this on-prem system. Somebody had the necessity of doing a sidecar for something. Somebody had to have an ingress controller on something. And they help themselves. So if we do that, enablement 20 times, we have a community. I'm not talking about 6,000 projects now. Do it 5 times. You have 5 project teams, they can help each other. We don't get tickets in our service center 3. We have a huge first level, second level, bless you. We have a huge support system. And we don't get tickets. We had to test it. We had to write our own tickets because we were wondering, can't be. No incidents at all. They help each other in Slack. And to go back to the Audi mission, what do passionate people do? They build great products in the end. So we need all of that with the foundation of people first to, in the end, create great products for this new car market. Great digital service portfolio. This is the Audi mission, all over again. It's just a complete other approach. People first, let them explore the best tech, be bleeding edge, do best of breed. Don't go for unified platforms. You're working for VMware, right? Sorry about that. Do best of breed. And get your use case, get your epic, get a freaking business plan for every epic that you do. Challenge everything. Don't take in just something. And then you can create a modular, with many exit strategies, a versatile platform. And for example, if my container image scanner today is like not the best anymore, I can just change it for another one with operators. The deployment is pretty fast. The policies stay the same, obviously. Just as an example. So this is more or less what I wanted to tell you today. This was like very fast. You probably have a couple of questions. In the keynote tour for next year, I will focus more on something when not to transform. Because there is a responsibility competence gap, right? Many people are responsible for something that they freaking have no idea about. And how to know when I can go into a transformation with a team and where I shouldn't. Where I should not even touch it, not even raise the topic, where I should really focus on web center, service provider, like the very old school, don't touch a running system, right? This is possible. This is, in a company as big as ours, it's necessary. So we have systems that you don't want to touch for the next 10 years. We have systems or teams in the totally opposite side that are independent from everyone else and they can try out anything. Usually we create companies for that because otherwise the process world would kill them and their innovation readiness. And competence is not only an ability and a capability, it's something to invest in. So around this arc you can transform. I will go very, very deep into this in the Amsterdam KubeCon keynote with a different company. Anyway, so this is it. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Sebastian. Let me help you with the questions. I already saw one hand on that side of the room. The mic is on their way and is on its way.
You said we should start with people, but aren't people also part of the process? Like they go hand in hand. Even what you described, this is actually a new also a process, but you only start with people. Like, why should you exclude that?
Just imagine you have nothing. You have a new project, and you have 3 guys there over there. So actually, this is how we started. I was in the company, and I had 2 people in my team. Now it's 14, and next year it will be 19 people. So I told them, "What do you want to do?" I mean, we're in the Audi IT. We can do like literally anything. The mission was to transform, to create a germ cell on something. And they said, we're really into Kubernetes. One of them was a Kubernetes core committer. The other one was an ops engineer. I studied chemist, actually. And they were really like passionate about Kubernetes. They really loved the topic. And I was like, okay, if you love that, let's do that. And we created the first product, proprietary Kubernetes control plane. It was created in 2017. In 2019, I made a business case out of it. And in 2020, we became a competence center for the entire VW group with around 10 people working on Kubernetes. You can fulfill a mission. It doesn't have to be that open, as I told you right now. It was really like super greenfield, super open. But even if you have a mission, you first ask your people what you want to do. Even in a team, you can change. Oh, I'm more into ops. I'm more into dev. I'm really. We have container image scanning, for example. I want to deep dive into that topic. Somebody has to do ingress controlling on Engine X. Who wanna manage the Engine X solution? Here I'm the OpenShift guy. Here I'm the VMware guy. So let's change control planes. Let's change some. Here, you want to do monitoring logging? Nice, great. So Prometheus, Kibana, whatever, Thanos, do whatever you want. So we have the possibilities in a team to really allocate what people are preferring to do, right? What they're ready to deep dive into. And then they use the best tech and say, Prometheus is not the best solution. I want to do this solution. Not my opinion, by the way. Prometheus is really awesome. And so I want a different solution. For example, I don't want to do the container image scanning from Red Hat. I want to do the best on the market. Is it Palo Alto? Is it Arco Security? Don't know. So they're using a different tech, and they're deep diving into their sharing. They're enabling other people to do it. And that's how you put passion and the passion of your people in the center of what you're doing. And then you don't know if the process matches it first. If you do it process first, you go to the purchasing department and make a volume contract. Then you have a volume contract with Palo Alto. And then the guy says, I hate it. I don't want to use the solution. It's not cool. I want to use that solution. And then you don't have passionate people. And then you won't build great products.
I have a question about organizing passionate people. How to choose the right amount of people, like 5, 6, 10 guys, to put them together to really think through every process they would like to do, how to build a new product or a new service. Because if how to pre-select the right amount of people, and how diverse should they be? What is your experience on that?
That is a very, very difficult question. You need to start somewhere. Just start. And you will have to start with someone. It's not like you will be recruiting 10 people at once. And that's also not wise. Also, your onboarding capabilities and capacities are very important in this one. So if you start with 2 guys, 3 guys, 4 guys, and you have an existing team, you need to first check if these guys work together, like hand in hand. If they are really matching each other, if they're really like harmonizing with each other, if this team is happy, you have to make the team happy. So, and if you have the capability to work with these 4 guys and you really make them happy, they have fun at work, they love it. Because, I don't know, you bring them coffee, you make them happy. Just make them happy, yeah? And then you have an imagination of your 5th guy. you can imagine him, will he fit into this? If I look at CVs, honestly, I don't even look at what the people studied. I never look at it. Honestly, I don't know what grades they have. I don't know what they studied. If they studied computer science. My leading ops engineer was a chemist. And he's the best. If you're passionate about it, I don't care what paper you bring. If you're passionate about it, you will be good at it. I was a musician and a teacher. Now I lead a Kubernetes competence center in one of the biggest groups in the world. So I don't care about paperwork. It's about people, and if you feel that they match together, if they have fun together, if they have a great time together. Just take the fifth guy, go out for a boozing event with all the other four. And then you see if they match or not. Just like this on a personal note. And 4 people can enable a 5th guy, right? But you can't hire 4 other people. This won't work. Your onboarding is very limited, and you need to grow slow and organically. Because if you have a fast-growing team, then you just place people on roles. You lose the people. You just have roles. If I order somebody at all these supplier companies, Rackspace, MHP, whatnot, Reply, to name a few, then I order roles. I don't order people. And that's sad. I don't know if there will be a team fit or not. I have to know if the person really engages with the other guys and if they match and if they want to work together on a human level. And then deep dive into anything. I just look for team fit and the willingness and the competence to deep dive into anything.
We'll take the last one.
Thank you for the great presentation. My
Thanks.
question is conflict. Like you said that there are passions between like what people want to do, and like sometimes the programs or the solutions they want to use are just not compatible with things that other people want to use. How often does it happen, and if it happens, how do you usually solve the problems?
Holy shit. Very nice question. So I'm defending my team to the bone with everything that I have, and it's a Shark Tank, you can imagine. They want a solution that the entire VW group decided with a volume contract in a completely different direction. So it's a political minefield. And I have to steer through that minefield through 110% trust in my team. And as I'm defending my team, they have 110% trust in me. But when I tell them, we can go down that road. I will fight for you. I will fight for your decisions. I will fight for your preferred solution. But you guys have to deliver. I need delivery on that topic. And you need to be the best. We became competence center. This is like a huge thing in the VW group, okay? It's not like something. And we became competence center through that mindset, through that growth mindset. If we do it, we're the best in the entire group. No compromise. You have to be the very best. And the delivery has to be on point.
And another question, like, does conflicts inside the team happen often because of the differences in passions and in solutions?
Not too much, because there is a general consensus in Kubernetes how you architected it very well. And in the end, if there is something, usually I decide upon business, because some cost agnostic architecture is something that I don't like. And then I say, come on guys, we have like 5-point-something million euro in cloud consumption. Nope. Please do it different.
Thank you.
And also shared responsibility with other teams. So, and that's something project teams on the platform, obviously they want everything managed from the platform. And I always make only one clear focus: runtime and security. Runtime and security is clear focus, and interface security. So if I match 80% of your requirements and you want to do your own infrastructure, because of the missing 20%, contribute it. It's, we have inner source, so you can contribute whatever's missing to the existing system. And I even created a cross-platform delivery to 33 other companies and delivery centers and platforms. So cross-platform delivery in this case means, let's take the container security. I create a cluster, a dedicated cluster with the team, and expose it, and they can use the container security solution on that cluster to scan their own infrastructure. So cross-platform delivery to only have, I spent like $500,000 on that every year, but the other platforms don't. They just use the cluster that's there.
Thank you, Sebastian. Okay, we'll have one more.
Hey.
Hey.
Did actually going into such a big company untie your hands, or what do you think you were missing during your startup days?
Kicker. But we have one now. A kicker. Like a football, desk football. That was really something that I was missing at first. But did I miss something? I was more or less surprised that in the end they create cars, because it seemed like unable to do anything. It was, at some point it was a kindergarten. In a different point I was like, do they even work? And you have like in enterprises, and huge enterprises are like a socialist system. You need an inner circle to make a career, right? You need budget and headcount to get a bigger bonus. You make plans for 3 years. So does this ring a bell? Like, this is completely socialist behavior. And with our mindset, we break through that budgetary system. We have huge problems with the budgetary process, actually, because it's for 1 year. I don't even want to know what I'm doing in 3 months. So if I have a new requirement, because in 3 months that's the thing, then I want to react. I don't want to react next year on that. But don't worry, there's a process for that too. And so this process world is really overwhelming and something that I protect my team from. And everything that's that doesn't feel like a startup, that doesn't feel fun, that doesn't feel easygoing, I fence it off from my team. That is my burden to bear, my burden to take. And that's also something, do I miss it? To not have that burden, I guess, but it's there and I have to do it. And it's a reality that makes this transformational ideas possible, actually. And that's the next surprise that I faced in an enterprise, in endless possibilities. But it's endless possibilities.
Did going into the enterprise enable you to do the things you do? You couldn't do it on a startup.
I couldn't do that in a startup, no. No. In a big enterprise, I'm not fighting for the next investment round. I'm not fighting for the job security of 44 people, and actually that was the real number in the first startup that almost failed. And everybody feels safe, actually. It's a safe haven, it's safe for everyone, and with this ease of mind that the people have, you can create great things. It's not the pressure of having a job next month or not. And that's also very, very good. It's a very great atmosphere, actually. And I must say, Audi is the most family-oriented company I've ever worked for. If you are not well, if you're not feeling good, if something happens to you, they're there, like completely. And this is the most caring company I've ever seen, ever. A startup can't afford that.
Thank you.
Does every startup have a table soccer? Is
I
that
guess
a
so.
thing?
That is the thing.
Great. Thank you, Sebastian. Let's take a lunch break and we'll be back soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.